Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're doing a throwback sign today. And on a recent outing with my friends, we drove by this grocery store that had their old sign still out. And me and my friend commented on how good that made us feel. It was just so nice to see something from our past or our childhood, and it just made us feel good. So I thought, why not make a country sign out of this? Stay tuned. For the sign, I'm using 4 of these wooden cutting boards from Dollar Tree, 12 coasters, some pre-mixed whitewash that I already had made up. I'm using Google Image to print out 12 images and some popsicle sticks. I know this is a bit pricey, more pricier than most of my projects, but you can cut down the price by making the sign smaller. I'm going to be using some wood glue, E6000, Gorilla glue sticks, and some sandpaper. Now, I've done all the hard work for you. When you save your image on your computer, you're going to resize the image to 350 by 350, turning off the aspect ratio. And then when you go to print it, make sure it's on 4x6 paper size and 3x5 photo. And it should fit the coasters perfectly. Now, you guys have seen tons of people do this. And we're doing this the same way you would do putting picture frames together, except we're going to use wood glue and just a little bit of hot glue, which I wish I would have never even used the hot glue. Just use wood glue and then use hot glue on the popsicle sticks on the back to reinforce this. I thought by doing both, that would be more, all it was a headache. So don't use super glue or hot glue. Just use wood glue. And then you want to secure all 4 of the cutting boards together. Then flip it over and use those big popsicle sticks. And you can use your hot glue here to secure it. Now, I used Dollar Tree spraying because after seeing how translucent it is, it makes a good whitewash. So I mixed it with some water and some white acrylic paint I had. And I'm just giving the cutting boards a nice coat and then coming back in and wiping off a lot of the excess paint so that you can see the wood grain come through. I wanted the whitewash and the wood grain look. Once I had the desired look, I set that aside to dry and I started cutting out my printouts. As you can see, they fit perfect on those coasters. So just cut out all of them. I'm not going to show you cutting out all 12, but you get the gist. Cut them all out. And like I said, you can make this sign cheaper if you just want to use 2 cutting boards and 6 coasters. I didn't realize that I had 12 coasters in my stockpile. So I must have kept buying coasters thinking of projects and just never did them and ended up with 12. So I needed to use these. So using some Mod Podge, I just put Mod Podge on the back of that printout and put it on the coaster. Easy peasy. I'm showing you 3 of them. I did the other 9 of them off camera. I wasn't going to bore you with Mod Podging images on coasters. And I just pushed them down with one of those little, I don't know, what are they called? Like little daubers that you can get from Dollar Tree. Just because I had glue on my fingers and I did not want to get the glue on the front of these because I didn't think I would be Mod Podging them. That's an option if you want to come back after this is done and Mod Podge the front of them, go for it. I liked that more rustic look. I didn't want a shiny surface, and that's what you get when you put Mod Podge on the front. I also was worried the ink would run, and I didn't want that happening after working so hard at this. So like I said, that step is up to you. If you want to, put some Mod Podge on the front of these. And they are just so cute. I love these little roadside signs. And I just, like I said, I think I typed in Google Images, vintage roadside signs. And I found these 12. But Do what makes you feel warm and cozy inside. You could do vintage Disneyland images. You can do, vintage Cabbage Patch through the years, vintage lunch boxes. I mean, there's so many possibilities with this sign. It's crazy. Print out what you love to make this. Now, I did take some sandpaper and I went on all 12 of them and I roughed up all of the edges, focusing a lot on the corners because I really liked how that looked with it not being a perfect square. It also, by doing this step, makes it look like it came that way and that it wasn't just an image glued onto a coaster. So I waited for my cutting boards to dry and it was really secure. I was happy. And see, it looks so much better after you sand all of the coasters. You really get that old vintage look. So now I'm just going to position these on the cutting boards. I wanted to hide that middle line where you can see the cutting boards come together. So I decided to put 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, and with the other 6, I grouped them in the center. I left a 1/2 inch gap between the sides. Where am I going with this, guys? Okay, I left a 1/2 inch gap between the gaps between the 3 and the 6, and then a 1/2 inch gap on the sides. And then I just positioned them according to color. I kept moving them around until I had the desired look I wanted on the board. And then I came back in, since I did eyeball this at first, I actually grabbed a ruler and made sure that I was a 1/2 inch. And actually I wasn't that far off. I only had to move a couple of them. It seemed like that 1/2 inch really was like the perfect gap to have it look cohesive and all centered on the board. And then all you had to do is glue them down. I only had a little bitty container of E6000 left, and I needed to make it last. So I put E6000 around the coaster. I came back in with my Gorilla Glue hot glue and went around the coaster where the E6000 wasn't, hoping it would be enough that I could use that little bitty tube and have enough for all 12 coasters. Like I said, you guys don't have to do 12 coasters. You don't have to do roadside signs. I originally made this project for my camper. I thought this would be so cool to put out in the camper as a decoration. But then I kind of was putting it all around my house, and I don't know, I might have a different idea where I'm going to use this in my decor. But I'm all farmhouse country, guys. I love farmhouse country. I love rustic country. But I also love making things that just make you feel good. And sometimes when you see images from your childhood, it just brings you back to that simpler time, brings you back to that carefree time. Especially with what we're going through nowadays, it's really nice to have a few pieces in your decor that just bring you back in time, make you smile, give you that warm, cozy feeling, give you great memories. Like I said, just bring you back to happier days. So that's what I was trying to achieve with this sign. I have a couple more ideas for some vintage throwback decor pieces. Let me know in the comments if this is something you're interested in seeing, and if you would like to see a few more projects done with some throwback vintage items. I would love to hear from you guys. And there it is. I love the whitewash on the wood. I love the wood behind the coasters. I love how sanding those images onto the coasters really just made it complete, made it look like you bought the coasters that way. I love these roadside signs. I have been staring at this sign ever since I finished it because it really just makes you feel good. And I think we all need some decor pieces that just make us feel good. I have this up in my craft room right now, but I brought it downstairs to put on my side table because I wanted to see how it integrated with the other farmhouse decor. As you guys can see, I'm not a minimalist. I decorate with everything but the kitchen sink. And I decorate with my house with pieces that I love, pieces that make me smile. So I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool back there. I have a lot of greenery. This is my clock wall. I have a lot of clocks on this side table. I thought this added a pop of color. And then I thought I would take it over behind my couch. My husband built a little table for our sectional that goes in an L. So I have a table behind the whole sectional. Then I thought, wow, maybe I will take those vintage throwback items that I've been wanting to make a little vintage area behind this couch. Who knows? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel out tremendously. And ring that bell for future notifications. I'll see y'all again soon. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye, y'all.